everyone, Stormaven here, and today I want to talk to you guys about a polarizing topic. You know, one side's over here, one side's over here. So that said, please be respectful when you debate in the comments. Of course, debate is always welcome. But this is one of those subjects where I kind of fall like somewhere in between, and it's really hard for me to choose a side. So I wanted to make a video about it and see what you guys thought. Anyways, before we get started, we are at 134 subscribers, you guys. That is amazing. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. So that said, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. It's amazing for me. It helps me out and makes me really happy. And that said, when we reach 500 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway as a thank you to you guys. So be on the lookout for that. And okay, so today I want to talk about AI and how it's affecting like the black metal scene and just the metal scene in general. Should we even be using it, right? So the line I kind of ride with AI is an unusual one because on one hand, I make it my bitch, right? So I actually implement AI systems into accounting ERP software for a living. So I kind of took something that already was out there and applied it to the accounting world. I think when it comes to your job or schooling, that's okay, right? Because all I'm having it do is automate processes that before we had to have humans do, which some people think, we're replacing humans' jobs with AI, and that's simply not true. It just makes it more efficient. And it's a big but. I don't think it should be used where art is concerned, meaning I really don't think we need to have it in our music. And that said, AI music is terrible. Just full stop. The worst soulless, hollow thing I've ever heard in my life. And no one should be making it, listening to it, etc. Now I know sometimes as content creators, you guys got to be careful because this happened to me where like AI music was like automatically added to one of my videos and I couldn't figure out how to like go back and take it out, so that kind of sucked. But you can tell, like it immediately raises, like if you're a music lover like me, it immediately raises red flags, like alarm bells in your head. You're in, this sounds like tin, like aluminum. Like, I don't know, if aluminum had a sound, it sounds like AI music. And I know that bands like, okay, for instance, Deicide got a lot of shit for doing an AI generated album cover. Now, I don't know if they did or not. That's like an alleged thing. I didn't really follow it close enough to know if that was like confirmed. But I mean, I'm struggling with that part of things. Like, should we use AI to create things like album art? A lot of people say no for a couple of reasons. First reason being that the art is generated by piecing other artists, real artists, work together to form this new conglomerated mess. Is that stealing? I don't know where I stand with that. I don't think so. I think that's a stretch, right? I mean, I can make a painting that has a million different shades of the color blue, and because a different artist used that specific shade in that specific way, is that stealing, right? So when you're taking all these pixels and different styles and mushing them together and now it's a new creation, I don't view that as stealing, really. But now the other argument was, can they afford to pay an actual artist to do that album cover? And I would agree with that, especially a band as big as Deicide. You arguably could afford to pay an artist to make that cover. But is it our business to say they should? Also, no, I don't think it is. I don't think it's my place to tell a band not to use AI. I could see where like, excuse me, for instance, maybe they felt it was really evil to use something that is very, to be honest, godlike and kind of, insane. And they wanted to like use that because it's fucking Deicide, right? They love evil stuff. It's great. And maybe they were leaning into that a little bit. So I'm going way off on a speculative limb here, but I think AI embodies evil. Not in like some superstitious fucking Christian way, but like in a cool way, you know, because it's like intelligence, you know, like Eve eating from the apple, and there's no like human reasoning or thought behind it. Well, supposedly there is, like, we program it and blah, blah, blah. But listen, I work with this stuff every day. It learns stuff I didn't tell it to do all the time. And I went to a IT security seminar in Texas recently, and AI was the topic. And let me tell you, like, not to get my tinfoil hat on here, but just being completely honest with you, we're at a fork in the road where we need to be really careful as to how we're using this stuff. We need to monitor how other people are using this stuff for nefarious reasons, horrible reasons. And we need to just be really careful and really diligent, because at the end of the day, this stuff is, you know, kind of taken over in a way. And I don't like seeing it in my music. I don't want to hear it in my music. That's where I draw the line. And I think that, okay, a great example of this would be, you guys remember that band in like July that was like, I wouldn't even call it a band. It was a guy, and it turned into this huge meme that was floating around. He was like, you know, with a rose, and that doesn't look like he's holding a rose. Okay. But like, do you know the meme? Like, is this guy in like armor, like with roses, and it was like something black metal promotion was like promoting. And, it sounded AI generated, right? Like, I can't confirm or deny if he did use AI, but like almost certainly he used it in that album cover. I mean, I'd lay money on it. Like, it was never, I don't think anyone ever like came right out and said, yes, it was, but like, come on, it looked AI. And I don't want to see that shit in our music. I think we need to really fight hard to keep it out of there. But now if you're using it as a tool, for instance, to like, I don't know, like make an album cover, I feel like I can live with that. I still think like we could pay real artists to do it, but like if we're using it as like a tool, for instance, like, you know, you want to show your tattoo artist something that you're thinking in your head and you can't quite describe it. So you plug it into ChatGPT and then you show them a picture of what ChatGPT made you as like the example. And then they tattoo something that they drew from that idea, right? So you're using it as a tool. A real artist is getting paid. And I think that's kind of a good use of it. So I think that we could, you know, really turn this ship around and use it as a tool and make it our slave, or it's going to make us its slaves. Like, to be very honest, we're kind of getting to a point where, I don't know, I think that we're going to see it become sentient, if I'm being real honest. And I think some, you know, people would say like, no way, that'll never happen. But you don't work with it every day. I do. This shit is scary. And I'm just wondering, what do you guys think about like this stuff becoming more prevalent in our scene? I mean, I can't tell you how many times I turn on YouTube and all the suggestions are just clearly AI generated crap. That's all it is just AI slop, you know. And obviously social media has gone really, really bad for that. There are no hard stops with social media. It's no rhyme or reason to how they police that stuff these days. It's disgusting. But I will say that I am seeing it on YouTube a lot more than I want to. And you can tell too, right? Like the picture of the album cover is very obviously smooth and strange looking. All the song titles seem really like homogenous and the same, and you listen to it and the vocals are just silly. They're silly. And in that instance, I could see where that would be stealing. For instance, I put a video of myself singing. Now, if AI were to pull from that and use my voice into like these AI generated songs, that is stealing. And so then I can kind of understand why artists are feeling that way about AI generated pictures, you know, like artistic photos or whatever. So I get it. I don't know. I think, again, if I just had to like just choose a stance, it's that we should use it as a tool to bring our own creativity to light. But I don't know that we necessarily should be using it as a replacement for things that humans can do. You know, in terms of the art and music world, when we're talking about making companies more efficient or a job more efficient, you know, I can't argue with people wanting to explore that and save money And so in that way, I can't really say like hands off, I don't want nothing to do with that stuff, because I kind of have to. So let me know what you guys think. Are you in a band? Would you consider using AI to like generate your album cover? Have you used AI? Like, what are your opinions on this stuff? So you guys let me know, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And if you like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.